The courtroom expected denial. He apologized instead. The apology came before the sentence. That was the first thing everyone remembered later. The courtroom was silent, heavy, expecting anger, denials, tears. Instead, the accused stood slowly, hands calm, voice steady. "I'm sorry," he said. Gasps moved through the gallery like wind through dry leaves. "Sorry?" The victim's family nodded with relief. The prosecutor leaned back, satisfied. Even the judge looked almost grateful. Another confession. Another clean ending. But something felt wrong, because he never said what he was sorry for. He didn't look at the judge. He didn't look at the prosecutor. He stared straight ahead, at someone sitting in the second row, and that person smiled. If you enjoy courtroom twists, where the truth refuses to stay buried, subscribe to the Unheard Witness, because sometimes justice waits for the last second to speak. The apology echoed longer than it should have. Microphones carried every breath. "I regret everything that happened," he added quietly. Careful words. Too careful. The prosecutor stood immediately. "Your Honor, the defendant has acknowledged responsibility." Fast, confident, almost rushed. The judge adjusted glasses. "Are you formally confessing to the charges?" A pause. A long one. The accused swallowed. "Yes." Whispers exploded. Case closed. Almost. Because again, he never described the crime. The defense attorney froze beside him, confused. But before anyone could question it, the prosecutor pushed forward. "Given the confession and overwhelming evidence, the state requests immediate sentencing." Immediate. No delay. No recess. The judge hesitated. That hesitation lasted maybe 3 seconds. But someone noticed. In the gallery, second row, a man in a grey suit, still smiling. The evidence had been perfect. Security footage placing the accused near the warehouse fire. Financial records suggesting motive. And a witness claiming to see him arguing hours before the explosion. Too perfect. The jury barely deliberated. Guilty. Now came sentencing. The judge lifted the file. "Before I proceed," a faint sound interrupted. A chair scraping. Small. Almost nothing. But the accused turned again. Toward the smiling man. "Why look there?" the judge noticed. Eyes followed. The grey-suited man lowered his smile instantly. Neutral now. Invisible. Just another spectator. The judge continued. The court recognizes the confession." The prosecutor relaxed visibly, pen tapping once against the desk. Satisfied. That's when the accused spoke again. "May I say something?" Unexpected. Permission granted. "You may." He nodded slowly. "I apologized because someone needed peace today." Confusion spread instantly. "That apology wasn't for me." Murmurs. The prosecutor frowned. "Your Honor, relevance." "Let him finish," the judge said. A second hesitation, another crack in certainty. I'm sorry," the accused repeated softly, "but not for what you think." Silence slammed down. The prosecutor stood again. "Your Honor, manipulation during sentencing should not—" But suddenly, a laugh. Quiet. Sharp. From the gallery. Every head turned. Second row, grey suit. Smiling again. Too wide. Too pleased. The bailiff moved slightly. Warning posture. The judge leaned forward. "Sir, you will maintain decorum." The man nodded politely. Smile fading. But not disappearing. Something shifted. And tiny. Uncomfortable. The judge resumed. "Sentencing will proceed." Gavel lifted. And that should have been the end. Except the defense attorney finally spoke. Voice shaking. "Your Honor, My client never described the act. The room froze. Simple sentence. Deadly implication. The prosecutor reacted instantly. He confessed. To what? The attorney asked quietly. The words landed like glass breaking. The judge blinked, pages flipped, transcript reviewed. Nothing. No admission of arson. No acknowledgement of sabotage. Only regret, only apology. The prosecutor's smile tightened. He admitted responsibility. That is interpretation, the defense replied. Eyes turned again. Toward the accused. Calm. Too calm. The judge exhaled slowly. Defendant, clarify your statement. The moment stretched. Everyone leaned forward. I'm sorry people were hurt, he said. I'm sorry lies traveled faster than truth. Gasps. The prosecutor slammed a hand down. Your Honor. That is not a confession. The judge's voice hardened. Then why plead guilty? The accused finally looked away from the gallery, toward the bench. Because the real person responsible was sitting here. Shock. Every neck turned again. Second row, grey suit, now pale, smile gone. The prosecutor laughed nervously. This is absurd. But the judge didn't laugh. Explain. The accused inhaled. I thought silence would protect someone. The gallery leaned closer. Protect who? The judge asked. A beat. My sister. The room reacted instantly. New twist. He continued. She works for the company that burned. The prosecutor interrupted. There is no evidence. She received threats, he said calmly. If I fought the charges, they promised she would lose everything. Silence. The prosecutor hesitated, just slightly, enough for the judge to notice. Who threatened you? Slowly, carefully. The accused raised a hand, pointing. Second row, grey suit. In that man, chaos erupted. The bailiff moved immediately. Sir, stand. The man laughed softly. No need for drama. Confidence returned instantly. I don't even know him. Smooth. Practiced. The prosecutor nodded quickly. This is desperation. But the judge wasn't convinced. Do you know this individual? The judge asked the prosecutor. A pause. Tiny. Dangerous. No. Too fast. The defense attorney stepped forward. Permission to question the spectator. Granted. The grey-suited man stood slowly, elegant, relaxed. What is your profession? The attorney asked. Consultant. For whom? Many clients. Vague answers, perfectly vague. The attorney hesitated, running out of angles. That's when the accused spoke again. He owns the insurance company. The courtroom exploded again. Insurance. Warehouse fire. Motive flipped instantly. The prosecutor snapped. Speculation. The judge slammed the gavel. Order. Eyes narrowed. Sir, is that true? The man smiled again. Yes. No denial. Confidence overflowing. And you attended voluntarily? Public trials interest me. He almost sounded amused. The judge leaned back, thinking. Then, the lights flickered. Once. Twice. Darkness swallowed the courtroom. Gasps everywhere. Emergency lights buzzed, faintly. Someone shouted. Footsteps. Metal clanged. When lights returned, the grey-suited man was gone. Gone. Doors still closed. Bailiff stunned. Panic rippled instantly. Lock the exits, the judge ordered. Too late. A side door hung slightly open. Wind moving papers across the floor. The prosecutor tried to recover. This distraction changes nothing. But the judge disagreed. Court will recess. Firm, final. Everyone stood, except the accused. He remained seated, watching the empty doorway, almost relieved. After hours' silence felt different. cold. The judge returned alone. Later. Something bothered him. Too many coincidences, too many rushed decisions. He reviewed evidence again. Security footage, paused, zoomed. Something new appeared, a reflection. Glass window, not the accused, near the warehouse. Another figure, holding a phone, recording, timestamp wrong, off by exactly 7 minutes. 7 minutes enough to move someone across town. The judge leaned closer, face tightening. That's when the clerk entered. "Your Honor, someone left this." An envelope, no sender. Inside, a photograph. Grainy. Taken inside the warehouse hours before the fire. And 2 men arguing. One was the accused. The other, grey suit, smiling, even mid-argument. The judge stood immediately, realization hitting like thunder. The apology, the rushed sentencing, the disappearance. Someone wanted closure fast. Too fast. Emergency hearing ordered. Night session. Rare. Uncomfortable. The courtroom filled again. Tension heavier now. The accused returned. Chains removed. Eyes tired. Hope dangerous. The prosecutor looked shaken. "First time. Or new evidence has emerged," the judge announced. Photo displayed. Gasps erupted. "That individual is currently missing," the bailiff confirmed. The prosecutor stammered. "This proves nothing." But then, sound. From the courtroom speakers. Static. Everyone froze. Technicians rushed forward. No one touched controls. Audio played anyway. A recorded voice. Smooth. Familiar. Grey suit. "If he pleads guilty, close the case immediately." Another voice answered. The prosecutor's. "No, we understand." Silence detonated. The prosecutor went pale. "That recording is fabricated." But the judge already knew. "Bailiff." One word. Handcuffs clicked moments later. Shock everywhere. The accused didn't move, didn't celebrate, just stared forward. Because something still felt unfinished. "Where is he?" the judge asked quietly. No answer, until the back doors opened slowly. Everyone turned. Grey suit, standing there, smiling again, holding nothing. No fear. "So I hate unfinished stories," he said casually. Bailiffs rushed him. He didn't resist. "I only came to watch the ending." The judge's voice hardened. "You orchestrated this?" He shrugged. "Insurance payouts are complicated." Confession without emotion. "And the threats?" the defense demanded. He laughed. "Fear convinces faster than facts." The courtroom watched justice flip in real time. The accused finally stood, face unreadable. "You ruined lives." The man tilted his head. "No." Smile widening. "People ruined themselves by believing too quickly." The words lingered. Ugly. True. The judge delivered new orders immediately. Charges dismissed. Investigation reopened. Applause broke out. Tears followed. Freedom restored. But before leaving, the accused turned back, toward the judge. "Why did you stop sentencing earlier?" Honest question. The judge paused, thinking, then answered quietly, "Because someone was smiling when you apologized." Silence. Understanding spread slowly. Sometimes guilt cries, sometimes innocence begs. But manipulation, it enjoys the ending too early. Outside the courthouse, cameras waited. Freedom tasted strange. He stepped into sunlight, breathing deeply. Reporters shouted questions. He ignored them, walking forward. Because apologies sometimes hide truth. And sometimes they bait it into revealing itself.